One common question that has actually been in the minds of so many African countries' citizens is, what is actually the problem with Nigeria? Why is it that Nigeria is always on the news for one negative reason or the other? And don't get it twisted, as much as there are negative issues and reasons why Nigerians are always out there are also positive reasons. And it makes it seem as though Nigeria is the only African country in the continent of Africa. And that's why most times when you want to Google or research about one crime issue or the other, the most part of the people that pops out are always Nigerian citizens. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back once again to the stable of Civic Inspirations. And yes, we are back at it again, like we never left. And if you are an African citizen, whether Africa or not, we are not limited, right? But as long as you are interested in knowing and understanding the issue that surrounds Nigeria as a country. Of course, Nigeria is a country, much as we have Ghana, we have Togo, we have Niger, name it, there are so many countries from the western part of Nigeria, but the most predominant one that is always out there, yes, for mostly the wrong reason, is Nigeria. Is always Nigeria. And don't get it twisted, I am a Nigerian living in Nigeria, and for the most part, most of these things get me so worried, get me so curious, and get me into in-depth research to want to understand personally, why is it that the most comments I get on my platform or on the media or anywhere I stumble is, why is Nigeria allowable? Why are Nigerians this? Why are Nigerians that? And at the end of the day, I feel so pained and embarrassed. Why? Because I truly care and understand not just my feeling as a Nigerian, based off what most times we or I experience here, let me be personal, then liken it to what other African countries who interact, relate with Nigerians to experience. And for the most part, we have Nigerians in almost all parts of the country, right? There's no part of the country you will travel to, even in the continent of Africa and outside Africa, that you will not find a Nigerian. In my other channel on Vibe with Civic, I did mention, or I did feature a video of where a Ghanaian did broke down in bits and in details why Nigerians are always everywhere. The problem, the root causes of why Nigerians are always everywhere, migrating to every country. And even as we speak, the influx of Nigerians in Ghana is overwhelming and a major challenge to them as Ghanaians. And not just Ghanaians alone. We've got South Africa, we've got Kenya, we've got so many African countries. Let's not even go to the Western European, British country talking about Nigeria. At this point, I need you to hold up because we are headed somewhere. But please, before we continue, if you are yet to like this video, I would oblige you kindly smash on the like button, share and subscribe, because at the end of this video, as I appeal you do watch, you would really get a clearer picture, understanding of why these questions and what are the possible or best solutions in answering this question of why are Nigerians always on the media most times for the wrong reason. And it's going to be answered by a Nigerian who is concerned and worried as well as you are as an African citizen, in the same light and in the same vein, right? Now, thank you in advance for hitting on the like button and sharing, because more people need to get this awareness and information out there. Now, if you look at Nigeria on the map, you will really know that Nigeria is coming from somewhere, and as a people and as a country, there are factors that make us whom we are, and these factors are actually currently, as we speak, maiming us, marring us, instead of making us predominantly successful as we ought or think we should be. I don't want to use the word giant, because at this point, there's nothing like being a giant, because we can only say we are successful as citizens cut across different countries, as people and as a country. And there are so many factors, yes, that makes a country successful, which my brother Chimzi will just throw more light on that, and let's come back.
As a Nigerian, show me one thing happening in Nigeria that proves, one thing that proves that Nigeria is the giant of Africa. Just one thing. Show me one thing that proves that Nigeria is the giant of Africa. One thing. You cannot. You cannot. Now, let me tell you something. There are few but basic things that proves a place is the giant of a continent. Few things. We don't need many things, because if we start naming many things, it's going to become so difficult. Very few things. What is that? Number one is that that country must possess safety in it. Security is number one thing. Security is number one thing. Security is number one thing. It tells you that that place is a giant of a continent. Number two is the value of their currency. And when I'm talking about the value of a currency, I don't mean in comparison to the dollar currency. That currency doesn't have to be compared with some other currency. No. It depends on what that currency can purchase for the individuals in that society. My brother, as of right now, the Nigerian currency is irrelevant. As of right now, the Nigerian currency is irrelevant. That is why Nigerians are the only people that store their currencies. Nigerian politicians are the only people that store their currencies in dollars, not in naira. Which means that even our leaders, our so-called individuals that manage the administration of our country, are not even proud of our currency. And you say Nigeria, people see, I don't know whether Nigerians actually think before you go out there to start competing with an individual from any other part of African country, you should listen to yourself. You see, when other African countries are talking, Nigerians shouldn't open their mouth. Yes, Nigerians, you people should not open your mouth. Your mouth should not be open, because anytime you open your mouth, you're disgracing yourself. There is nothing in Nigeria that proves that you people are even a country. Talk more of the giant of Africa. There is nothing that proves it. There are so many things to point out, but I'll just leave you people to this. And you people can't even make Ghana should be the giant of West Africa. I'm telling you the truth. To me, they are. Because of that piece, they are. Shame.
Now, if you get this part of it for the most, you will see that, yes, Nigeria is lacking in that aspect, right? Nigeria is lagging in that aspect because, most importantly, our ideology, our mentality, our character, our upbringing are a major key role that has attributed and contributed to why we as Nigerians are the way we are. And let's not even forget the fact that, in addition, the average Nigerian citizen, youth, teenager, name it, even as little as 12 years today, is in the quest, I mean the zest, to definitely make it financially by all means, whether by hook or by crook, which is the desperation of making it financially that has led into the crimes, the actions of most Nigerian youth today in the country. And this is a generation that we are saying are the leaders of tomorrow, just like we have in other countries, right? And please, quick disclaimer, this is not to say that there are no countries without crime, but the amount of crime perpetrated by Nigerians everywhere they go is that same reason why most people at the end of the day are so concerned as African countries, most importantly, to know and understand why Nigeria every day, every time. And that's why you see, if you've been following me, I have always been on the neck and issue of Nigeria times without number, any day, anytime, anywhere, because as a matter of fact, if you are an individual of concern that seeks for the growth, the success and development of your country, that should be your topmost priority. The measures that are supposed to be put in check, just like we've heard, to definitely ascertain and consider a country successful should be your topmost concern. And now, if we want to even digress, we will know that it starts from the basics, the foundation. I've always said this, which is what? The way Nigerians are brought up from their family background, which is the first and the smallest unit, down to the larger society. Today, you cannot liken what is happening now in the country, Nigeria, to what it used to be. It was as if maybe it was, a bit better, but now it has gone worse. And now, as though that is not enough, you might definitely again want to liken it to the higher authorities, the higher parastatals, who are also part and parcel of the country Nigeria. You will see that the first thing first, without mixing words, is corruption. Corruption of words. The quest, like I said, to want to make money by all means. You look at the leaders, they are not even poor, because these people have been looting and making money for themselves in different ways that are both legal and illegal, allegedly, yes, up till date. And these are the set of people that we think as humans that we are the right set of people to lead us. Now, that is where the question of why even complaining, because you cannot eat your cake at the end of the day and have it. Most of us wholeheartedly wanted the leaders we have to be in power. Why the people who sees into the future and understand what it takes to build a democratically stable, running, effective country would say no to this kind of leaders, because as a matter of fact, we know that majority carries the vote, and corruption speaks and screams louder in a country like Nigeria. And now, at the end of the day, we might want to extend it to what is happening in all the parastatals of the country. Now, pointing it down to the Senate, which is the third voice, the third personalities we have. It is no longer news what is going on there. And if I sit down here and tell you people that Nigeria is more or less like a shithole as we speak. I'm not mixing my words because I am very brutal with my truth. Nigeria is more or less like a shithole. Nigeria mostly behave and act as animals. I mean animals, untamed animals, because make it make sense that you are living and acting in corruption and you are normalizing it, and not just normalizing it, enforcing it on innocent individuals. Make it make sense. Now we had the likes of Senator Natasha that has been trending for the past month now, and we know that this lady is a lady that I perceive and understand that stands out from corruption. Prior before her emergence as a senator in the Senate House, she has been doing things based on her political background, her personality in the state where she roots from the Middle Belt, as a very, very well reputable and very effective and influential personality, which even made her even make it to that point. But we see that the corruption in the Senate, in the political sector of Nigeria, get it? You get it? Has really made it a difficult problem for people like this woman who stands and speak for nothing but the truth to always be silenced. We saw how it played out to the point that even of recent, I think a few days ago during the Salah holiday, she even wanted at the end of the day to go down to her hometown to celebrate with her people. But the same set of corrupt leaders tried to make it very difficult for her. And at the end of the day, where they did not expect or see it coming, she maneuvered her way into the state, into her homeland. And guys, the support was massive and mind-blowing.
To Natasha, where they say they gathered 250,000 signature petition to remove her from National Assembly. This video now today as she go her hometown to go greet her people, where the people come out to receive and welcome her. So apart from these people who come to support their senator, they still get extra 250,000 people under 2 days who sign petition to remove her from National Assembly. Meanwhile, the vote where carry Senator Natasha go Senate, according to tribunal, was about 54,073 votes. Chai, Nigeria, APC magic. What APC cannot do does not exist. Nigeria is an open crime scene. We have allowed criminals to overrun this asylum. And if Nigerians cannot wake up and speak up for what is true and to stand for justice, all of us will eventually become victims of this brazen criminality where we they watch the unfold. So, Nigerian leaders, shame on you. Shame on you, Nigerian politicians. Shame on you, opposition lawmakers in the National Assembly, for deciding to sell your consciences and becoming a part of a court instead of a parliament to speak up for the Nigerian people and to stand in solidarity with one of your own in the face of oppression. If you are too afraid to speak up, what of ordinary people like us who are defenseless? What exactly is the crime of Senator Natasha? In a Senate of 109 senators, only 4 women. And one of those women, they go through all the victimization when Natasha, they go through. So what exactly is her offense? Una said she disobeyed standing orders in the Senate. You suspended her for 6 months without allowance and salary. You remove and withdraw her security. Senate president said if you stop to be a senator, you should stop to enjoy your security. If not for intervention of other senators, you want to stop salary of her staff. You throw out her petition from the Committee of Ethics, which of course was an unfortunate committee that would never have brought anything good for Senator Natasha. You begin a criminal kangaroo recall of the senator. And today when she talks, say she won't go visit her people, the governor of Kogi State come out with ban on public gathering and to stop convoy movement for Kogi State just because Natasha says she want to go and visit her people. This is a bunch of cowards trying to silence a woman from being able to represent and speak up for her people. Shame on you, Nigerian politicians. Every institution of government have been weaponized and politicized. Anybody that speaks up, you become the target. Any voice of dissent, you become the criminal.
Most people did say in the comment section of this video that they have never all their life seen a support as much as this, that even for what they are saying, that at the end of the day, at the numbers of petitions to recall her from the Senate House based on her alleged allegations on the Senate president and some persons, as we rightly know, is not even equated to the amount of numbers. You just saw it that are there already cheering her up and supporting her. And what does this depict in summary is to tell you the level of corruption that has deteriorated in the system, the political system of Nigeria, that even when you want to extend it down to all the states, regions in the country, we might not end this topic today. But of a truth, one thing I want us to know as African citizens, to answer your question, is that Nigeria prioritizes corruption and crime. They adore and they literally live, dwell, and dine with corruption. Corruption in form of kidnapping, corruption in form of bewitchment, corruption in form of fraud, corruption in form of drug pushing, corruption in form of oppression, like oppressing themselves. If this act of oppression on this woman by every means possible is not part of what we're saying, then I don't know what to call it. But thankfully, for a woman that is very bold and courageous like Senator Natasha, these are the kind of people that personally I respect, because I love people who know what they want and they go for it, they pursue it. But let it be on record that I stand with the notion that yes, most Nigerians are born into criminality if you look at the family background, because a snake will always beget a snake, not a cockroach. A lion will always beget a lion, not a mosquito, right? So it starts with a foundation, which is the family, and it grows and deteriorates positively or negatively as time goes by, based on the perception, the character, the mindset, the personality, the belief, the thinking of the parents of every given child or every born child. And that's why you see that the percentage of citizens of Nigeria who think and act differently is very slim. Is very slim. Now, in a country where they see kidnapping, they see banditing, they see killing, they see fraud, which in a layman's language is yahoo yahoo, as nothing. What do you expect of that society? Now, can even the leaders ask the young ones of these days, the youth of these days, not to even behave the way they do? Now, you might want to ask, how do you now expect that, yes, an average Nigerian citizen will always act better and think better or behave better? Like I will always put out a disclaimer, this is not to generalize that there are no responsible and reputable citizens. There are, but the percentage is very slim and minute. And that's why if you want to see that there are successful, legitimately successful, legally citizens of Nigeria, check the background. You will see that there are some things that are different from the family background, orientation, and the society, the environment they find themselves. Most of them are even abroad based, abroad made children that we are really taking away outside and groomed the right way as well, because nowhere is perfect, right? And they turn out successful, they turn out making and breaking records as Nigerians. But for the least, I bet you and I kid you not, if you take a look at what is happening in Nigeria, let's not even go to how they extend it outside Nigeria. It is a shithole and a very serious issue that calls for concerns for all citizens as long as Africa is concerned, because whether you like it or not, if one finger is stained with oil and you don't clean it, it will extend. And that's why you see that they are now extending it into other countries, grooming and recruiting other country citizens who are not even self-aware or are not even grounded enough to take decisions to continue and find themselves in these paths of criminality, endorsed and sustained, encouraged by most Nigerians. And to say the least, these and more are the major reasons why Nigerians are always laudable on the negative, because they are not content, they are not satisfied, they are not well groomed, they are not well oriented, they are not well trained. They do not even have the most important part of it, which is what? The fear of God in them, which is the beginning of wisdom and the ultimate. Now, at the end of the day, let me leave the curtain and the door open for us to definitely look at these things critically, and let us deliberate more on this. Let me know what your thought, your opinion about this is. Have you encountered a Nigerian, whether good, bad, or ugly? Let's know what it is, because like I said, there are still the good ones. Let's give them room for recognition. And have you encountered the bad Nigerian? No matter whom you are, let's know as well, because it is only when we begin to talk about these things, expose these things, that we will begin to seek solution. And for the most part, most of them will not even like this video or like videos like this, but who cares? Because on here we stand for nothing but the bitter and the brutal truth, and we must always condemn the actions of the citizens of our countries and our leaders as well, as a people and as a body and as a country and as a nation in the continent of Africa. Because if we don't, it is definitely going to affect every other country, just like we've seen others complaining. So whether a South African, a Ghanaian, a Zimbabwean, name it, any country citizen you are, what is it for you like relating and interacting with Nigerians? Let me know in the comment section, like I said. And at this point, guys, we have come to the end of what we have today for this episode, based on why are Nigerians the most loudest when it comes to crime and corruption. These are my own personal opinion. I don't know about yours. Like I said, let's talk in the comment section. Like this video if you are yet to share and subscribe to be a part and parcel of this channel, because on here I am on a mission steadily to definitely change the narrative about how Nigeria Nigerians should act and behave any day, anytime, anywhere, which is nothing but the right path. And it starts with me, it starts with you as a Nigerian, and even extended to you as other African citizens, because we are not just focused on Nigerians alone. We are also part of the citizens in the continent of Africa. Everyone, as a matter of fact, have their role to play. So do have that in mind, so that at the end of the day, while we as Nigerians are beginning to wake up and becoming aware of these things and taking correction, if definitely, most definitely, it will definitely correlate and rhyme with every other country as citizens, as a country, and as a people. Exactly. And that is it for today. Like I said, I will see you in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe. And please turn on the bell icon so that you always be the first to get notified whenever new episodes are posted here. And with that, I will say thank you so much once again for tuning in to see what we have for today. Keeping it real, happy, safe, and blessed right here on the stable of Civic Inspirations, where we say things just the way it is, not to demote, demean, demarcate anyone, any country, any citizen, but to expose, analyze, react, educate, entertain, inspire, motivate, captivate, not just you, but your spirit, your soul, and your body. And I will catch you in my next one. Ciao, ciao.